G'day traders, I'm Ian, and for the last 20 years I've been building Forex bots and treating trading like a game to outsmart the markets. But let me tell you, it's no walk in the park. Today I'm spilling my secrets on how to trade smarter by knowing your odds, just like a pro poker player. Stick around because this could change how you trade forever. So let's have a look. Imagine you're a pro poker player. Would you sit at a table without knowing the odds of landing a full house or a royal flush? Of course you wouldn't. So why do most traders, probably 99% of them, just jump into trades without knowing the probability of winning? Crazy, right? Experience and patterns are great, but if you want to win consistently, you need to know your numbers. Here's the thing, trading isn't as wild as it seems. Prices only move up or down. There's no flips and no tricks. It's just up or down. That makes it easier to predict than you think. When an event happens, the price either rises, falls, or stays what I call inconclusive, meaning we can't pin the move on that event. Let's break it down with a real example. Let's say you're trading with Bollinger Bands. You enter trades when the price breaks above or below the bands. But should you go long or short? Does the time of day matter? To find out, I use a tool I've relied on for years, and that's the old MetaTrader 4. Most trading platforms let you run code to test ideas, so you can use whatever platform you want. You're probably going to be able to do this. So let's see where the magic happens. Instead of guessing, I built a bot not to trade but to analyze. It checks when the prices cross the Bollinger Bands and logs whether it reverses, continues, or does nothing. So this is a bot. The code is just an EA or a trading bot, but it doesn't trade. You can see all it does is it gives you the Bollinger Band inputs like the period, deviation, and etc. It's got the minimum points, so that's how far up and down it checks to see if it's going to win or lose the trade. Time period of how often it checks, and the time period of the bands themselves, the indicator. So we run that in MetaTrader, bing bing bing, and it comes out with a file like this. If we open the file, it gives us all this data, and what we can see is that the closer to the bands, the more data we get. The further away from like the upper or lower bands, the fewer times it actually hits that number. So when we get down to these extremes, it's pretty much useless. So yeah, that's the data we collected. So what we can do is we can feed that into the AI, and just like that we can get a little graph and other statistics that the AI can give us. But just for now, we'll look at the graph. The charts show the odds of a reversal or a continuation at different points above or below the bands. For example, at the extremes, the chance of a reversal jumps from about 26 to over 60. So that gives you an idea of what your odds are. And if you look at where is it? If you look at the this is the lower bands and this is the upper bands. So they're pretty much the same, just reversed. Yeah, so that's pretty cool, but we're not ready to trade just yet. To boost our odds in this example, let's look at another layer. What happens after a long or short trade? I built another bot to what it does, it checks how often a long trade is followed by another long trade, or a short trade by another short trade. And I'll just bring up after putting it into the AI and getting a little graph, this is what we come up with. The data shows that below 50% you're more likely to see a reversal than a continuation. Plus it tells us the best times of the day to trade for reversals. So yeah, we go from about 15% where you won't see a long after a long, which means you're more likely to see a long after a long, and then a short, and then a long, and then a short. And then during the peak times, you're more likely to see a long after a long. And these are charts for the yen. The blue one's a yen, and the orange one's a euro. They're a bit offset because of trading sessions, but they all follow the same sort of pattern. So yeah, that's a bit of a game changer if you're trading a mean reversal, or you want a continuation. You know exactly what time. Like if you even use the 50% mark, continuation, you want to be trading here and here and here and here. If you're after a reversal, you've got better chance down here and these times. So yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much changes the game on your statistics. Okay, so here's a critical tip. The probabilities are tied to time. Let's say your Bollinger Band strategy targets a 10 pip move on a 1 minute chart. If you let the trade run past 10 pips, your probabilities go out the window. The further you go, the more random it gets. So stick to your targeted range, or you're gambling, not trading. If you want to trade 20 pips, test that separately, or move to a higher time frame and then test that. Knowing your probabilities takes the guesswork out of trading. No more throwing random indicators on a chart or endlessly optimizing bots like I did for the years. Trust me, that's a time waster. Now, I store my data in libraries like include files in MetaTrader. If I want to use Bollinger Bands on an hourly chart, I can instantly check the probability of a reversal or a continuation. There's no guessing, no optimizing, just stats. Here's where it gets fun. Combine 2 or 3 indicators for a probability score. Only trade when only trade when 2 out of the 3 signals align with high odds. The possibilities are endless, and you don't need to over optimize. If I'm optimizing, I already know it's a losing strategy. Start with probabilities, and you're trading with an edge. So, all you traders out there, keep doing what you're doing. But seriously, if it was me, I'd stop trading blind and get to know your odds. Have you tested strategies of like this? Let me know. Maybe people do try this before they trade. Maybe it's old news. Anyway, let me know. That's about all I've got for you. So have fun. Catch you later.